There are still some very good reasons why Kendrick Lamar might drop a new album after the Super Bowl now, and also before his tour starts on April 19th. So today we'll go over all of those reasons, so let's jump straight into this. If you want to stay up to date with everything surrounding hip-hop, make sure to subscribe and also become a part of this community by joining our Discord server in the description. Real quick, if you don't want to listen to this, make sure to skip 10 seconds into the future, but you can now sign up for my free newsletter with the first link in the description. It comes every Sunday and recaps everything that's been happening in hip-hop over the past week, so make sure to do that. So obviously Kendrick just performed at the Super Bowl a week ago. We already talked about this. I thought the performance was great. Maybe y'all agree with me, but obviously we didn't get a new album announcement. Nobody was expecting that, but still some people were hoping to get something around the Super Bowl. He did perform Not Like Us. He did perform a snippet of Euphoria, so the Drake shots were definitely there, but as I said, no new music from himself. And we have to take into consideration that SZA was also there with him, and the two of them are going on tour. They're going on the Grand National Tour starting April 19th, so only in about 2 months, which will be amazing. But fans have obviously been wondering if there is going to be a new record before the tour other than GNX. And we already talked about this, but I did want to kind of bring this to the forefront of all of our minds again after the Super Bowl now, because this is actually the time now that he would have to drop this new record. There are a bunch of reasons to believe that it wasn't just GNX, but that there is another album still in the works that could be coming out within the next 2 months. As always, take this with a grain of salt, because none of this has obviously been confirmed by Kendrick himself, and until he gives us the announcement that a new album is coming, it's not coming. But let's go straight into this. It's quite a bunch of info, but it's very, very interesting. So first of all, very obvious is the GNX trailer that dropped right before GNX dropped, which did in fact feature a song that we haven't gotten on the record. So he teased a new song that didn't end up on the record that the trailer was for. We also had this, for example, with the Squabble Up snippet in the Not Like Us video that then went over into the rollout of GNX into Squabble Up actually releasing on there. Also, another big reason that fans have been thinking that there's another record is because we have the Hard Part 6 on GNX, and songs that are in the Hard Part series usually mean that a new album is coming after their release. Even on Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, the Hard Part 5 was released separately than the record as a single, and then only put on like a third disc to have it in the whole thing of the record. But it wasn't part of the album. In this case, the Hard Part 6 was part of the record on the release day. And this could mean that the entire album is just an entry in the Hard Part series leading up to another record. Another very subjective reason that people have been thinking there's a new record is that GNX doesn't feel like the big new album that he's been working on for more than 2 years. Maybe also because of the short runtime of only about 40 to 45 minutes. And fans have been saying that this could not be the big record that he's been working on consistently ever since Mr. Morale. And this also goes hand in hand with the next point, which is that some of the songs were reportedly only recorded 2 days before GNX dropped. So this means that he was working on this in that moment, and that the album wasn't as planned, as strategized as maybe some people thought. Also connecting to this, we had word that the label only found out the morning of the release day that the album was dropping. So this could also mean that the album was made very spontaneously and put together just last minute. We also have the situation that we have a bunch of Mustard production on the record, who obviously was brought out at the Super Bowl, which is crazy, and I love to see that. Mustard at the Super Bowl, that is big for producers in general. But also Mustard has only been working with Kendrick ever since Not Like Us. And if this is the big record that was in the works ever since Mr. Morale in 2022, why wouldn't they have collaborated earlier than March or June of last year, a couple of months before GNX dropped? We also had word that DJ Snake said that Taylor Swift would be on Kendrick's new album, who obviously is not on GNX. the whole record in general is more of a West Coast project and wouldn't have big pop features other than SZA, but obviously that's a, kind of closer connection right there. So this also led people to believe that the big record that is not so niche as GNX is still coming with the big hits that feature people, maybe not Taylor Swift, but just bigger artists that are outside of the West Coast niche. And now also a feature on the record, on GNX, Lefty Gunplay said in a podcast, I believe this was Bootleg Kev, but correct me if I'm wrong, he said that there would be a deluxe of the record coming. And I mean, somebody that is featured on the record maybe does have some info that other people don't. Obviously, we also have the lyric that people are always referring back to on GNX, the double back like a deluxe that Kendrick said. This has also led some people to believe that he's hinting at a deluxe right there, even though this could just mean like a double record, double back. Let's see, maybe this was foreshadowing something, or it's just like a bar. And now also one more thing that we do have is the name of the entire thing. The GNX is the upgraded version of the Grand National car. And so people believe that the GNX was this kind of very powerful short mixtape that was West Coast influenced, but that was only like a little upgrade for the actual big album, the Grand National, still coming, which is also why the tour is called Grand National Tour, because they will not just be performing and touring for GNX, but also for the big Grand National album. Now that's a theory that honestly I could see happening. I think there is some meaning behind those names, and connected with all the other things that we just went over, there is like not a 0% chance that Kendrick is dropping another record before April. As I said, take all of this with a grain of salt. We don't know if this will be a Kendrick solo project. We also have him promoting PG Lang more and more. Will there be a kind of continuation from the Hillbillies with Baby Keem, with PG Lang in more generally? Do we have a collab record with SZA coming out now that they also performed together at the Super Bowl and are going on tour together? All of those are still questions that we don't have answers for, and until Kendrick or an official PG Lang press statement gives us the answer to this, we will not know. So as I said, this is just the evidence that has piled up over the past couple of months ever since GNX dropped, and that I think now is more relevant than ever as we're leading into this kind of deadline of the tour coming up on April 19th. And now that the Super Bowl obviously is also over. But I do want to know what y'all think about this. I don't necessarily think that we can have like a 50-50 situation of this thing dropping. But as I said, it's not 0%. But let me know what you think about all the stuff that we went over today in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media, and most importantly, join my Discord in the description. Until the next one, you'll have an incredible day, and y'all take care.